What's up, hoodlums? Today I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite horror movies in my collection. So if I don't own it, unfortunately I can't rank it. You know, I'm missing some good stuff, like I'm real fond of Jeepers Creepers #2. That was a good one growing up. And like Child's Play movies, I always like the first one. It was real dark, but I have some runner-ups, so this isn't my top 10. This is some stuff I just I like Halloween 2. Most notably for the bloodshot eye part at the end. Always I liked the Blob remake in the 80s because I have fond memories of that one, and it was just real cool. We got The Shining. Always liked The Shining. Scream 2. I always thought that Scream 2 had just more dynamics in the first Scream. I kind of overplayed the first Scream. Then we're going to do my top 10. We got number 10, Hellraiser 2. I really liked where it was going with like the labyrinth stuff, and then the villain, whatever he was at the end, like fucks them all up. But there's a lot more of like this the Cenobites in this one than the first one. I'm not really big on the first one. They kind of just like show up at the end. But I always liked this. I always thought that the coolest scene, like the stop motion in this was really cool, and the effects. But like the labyrinth scene with this fucking shit is like mind blowing to me. It was just so fucking cool. And we got number 9. We have Return of the Living Dead. I always like the tar man in this movie. It always makes me laugh. I love the scene when they're in the warehouse with the like yellow mannequin wax motherfucker. He's like, I hit the fucking brain. But I don't know. I just feel like this one's like a real fun one. I like I'm not really big on like I like slashers and like gore, but I much like fun or like real like psychological like thriller type stuff. But another fun one, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Again, just for the wittiness, the comedy, the over the top fucking stuff in it. I always really liked Killer Clowns from Outer Space too. It's just something you can just fucking be stupid and watch it with. You know, like a low IQ fucking humor movie. So that was number 8. Yeah, 10, 9, 8. So now we're on number 7, Night of the Creeps. I only saw this, I think last year was the first time I got it. And I was surprised of how fucking fun, again, this fucking horror movie is. The sergeant guy, I forget his name, but he's just the Charles Gordon? No, I forget his name. Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins plays Detective Cameron. Yeah. The most funniest, sarcastic motherfucker, and I love him because I'm a fucking ball-buster, sarcastic motherfucker too. But he fucking stars in this, and it's just so fucking fun. If you haven't seen this one, I know it's not like the biggest one, but by all means, but definitely check out Night of the Creeps. Other thing too, it's like I don't really care for movies like the Microwave Massacre and like all these like Slumber Party Massacres, like all these like fucking just like, I don't know. I like some more like meat and bones to my horror movies and story. But I mean, like, they're fun to watch, but it's like I saw like a lot of them in like high school and shit. Not really really care for them, you know. It's like I know like an avid horror fan would know like Night of the Creeps and be like, yeah, you can check out like Attack of the Donuts and like Anaconda versus the Megalo motherfucker part fucking 7. You know what I mean? But moving on, we have The Thing. I have fond memories of this, watching this with my uncle, and this fucking movie, I mean, it was like the prequel effect with Star Wars, where everyone fucking hated it when it came out, but everyone loves it now. And I don't know, I just really love this story. Even the video game, I had this on the Xbox. It was like a really fun like survival horror type video game. You like didn't know who was who. And then we have Phantasm 2. I also have Phantasm 1 signed by the tall man himself, but I feel like Phantasm 2 just has a little bit more speed to it and just a little bit more cunningness. I really like the actor who plays Mike in this one as opposed to the first one and the sequel, the third one. I think he's back in the other ones. I think it's the only one he's in, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know. I just really like the faster theme and the ending too, a lot more than the first one. I like the first one. They go into like the red world with the like midget people, like the Jawa people. But I don't know. If my memory serves me right, I just thought that this one was just a little bit darker. Like I like when they're like walking in the cemetery and they're like gearing up, they're like welding all their weapons and all that. I don't know. But I don't know. The first two I would just say are just perfect like horror B movies for that. Like really original, really cool stuff. Stephen King's It from 1990-ish, 90 or 91, I think. But I way prefer this version over the new version. I've always liked this. It's like, it's kind of like Stand By Me with fucking clowns and other monsters. But I just really like the scenes where his father's in the lake and he's like, I live here now. And it's obviously Pennywise. You know, like stuff like that I thought was cool. The first half is way much better than the second half, but the second half is also pretty witty with its humor. Kind of like the earlier stuff I mentioned. But I always loved this version of it way more better than the other version. Even the drain scene. I mean, in the new one, he gets his arm ripped off, but I feel like in the original one, it's just more iconic and more, like, darker. Yeah. Number 3, I'd have to say Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. To me, Dream Warriors just has the coolest fantasy aspect. I love the scene where he's the mannequin puppet and he's walking to his death. And I just like the way that all of them have a purpose, or like the fantasy, like the wizard guy, and then the other guy's like real strong, and the other girl's like a cross punk. Like I just thought that the third one was cool. For a while, the second one was also my favorite, only because the second one was like real dark. But it's most definitely like a queer movie, which obviously that's its own category of horror. But it hasn't aged as well as I think 3 has. So, for me personally, I always thought that 3 was the strongest out of the sequels. But I thought that the second one was very underrated as well, if you look past, like, the gay undertones. Fourth one was cool, too. But I felt like it was kind of like the how Star Wars sequels were, where they just kind of, like, kill off the old characters to just make room for the new ones. And it was like, yeah. But, I mean, the third and the fourth one have good music, like Dokken and Dramarama. So, I mean, I feel like they only need the first 4 and then, like, Freddy vs. Jason. But for me personally, it's 3. Number 2 is Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back. Now, this is more of, like, a psychological thriller. And this one's more like Stand By Me with ghosts, which is really cool. But if you're into, like, real, like, greaser type of, like, stuff with your horror, you'll definitely like this. It's, like, a real, like, sappy, like, tearjerker, too. Like, if you really, like, pay attention to, how things take place in this movie, like, you might feel, like, very sympathetic and, like, you know, like, emotional, which I thought, I really liked. I didn't grow up with this one. I watched this like a year or 2 ago. It's free on YouTube if you look it up. But I thought that this was like a very good movie. Some of the scenes are very outdated, kind of like Stephen King's It that I mentioned. But it is also just a very well-written and well-thought-out movie. And then last but not least, my number 1 favorite horror movie of all time is Exorcist number 3, Legion. And I know it's like the popular thing now with the Dahmer, but this Dahmer has nothing to do with my opinion on this movie. I liked it before, you know, like the Dahmer TV show came out. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of Dahmer, and I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. He started sucking on some dude's thumb, and I was like, yo, this ain't for me. But personally, I just thought that The Exorcist 3 has just the greatest story in any movie. I think that the writing, the timing, everything about it is just the perfect psychological thriller. There's not like over the top, you know, jump scares and stupid stuff like that. I especially like the part where he's in the dream and he thinks that his buddy's dreaming, but he's actually dead, and he sees him in heaven. I love the final confrontation with Brad Dourif. I think that Brad Dourif totally steals the spotlight of a deranged, possessed guy. Just like the tears in his face. It's just incredible. But yeah, so those are my top 10 favorite horror movies. Write your favorite horror movies. I'll let you know if I've seen them, what I think of them. But thanks for checking these out with me, and until next time.